I'm gonna rank all of Minecraft's versions from worst to best as fast as I can, and watch till the end to find out my favorite version of Minecraft ever. Let's go. The worst version of Minecraft is 1.2. It added jungles and iron golems, and that's basically it. It was really underwhelming, to be honest. Not really like the other updates, just kind of boring. Straight into Yee tier, because this update could have been combined with 1.1 and been B tier, but no. And because of that, here we are. 1.3 comes with some cool things like emeralds and ender chests, but to be honest, that's kind of it, so it's back-to-back Yee tiers. These ones are just so much weaker than the other updates, I won't lie. 1.6 is the first one out of Yee tier, and it was called the horse update. Yeah, that's not a joke. Added, well, horses and stained clay, but other than that, it was kind of pointless. But when it came out, it was kind of cool, I guess, so D tier. 1.10 was the Frostburn update. Yeah, that's what it was really called. It added polar bears and husks, but nothing really stands out from this update, just like the previous few. There were some other cool features like the zombie villages, but other than that, there was nothing really. Kind of disappointing. It's close between C and D tier, but I'm gonna go with D tier. Okay, this update isn't actually out yet, but 1.20 looks kind of cool with bamboo blocks, camels, and the sniffer, but other than that, there's not a lot to it that we know of, so I can't really put it higher than D tier. Moving on to C tier, we have early classic. This is where the world started to take shape, but it still wasn't infinite. It was surrounded by an infinite ocean though, so maybe it was? Anyway, it added multiplayer and it added the inventory, but it was still very bare bones. At this time in Minecraft, a lot of the key features were being added, so I have to be a bit more harsh. It's going in C tier. Early beta added squid and cake. Okay, don't mix them, I've tried it, it's disgusting. It also added birch and spruce trees and seeds as well. It also added eggs so you can give birth to other species. Beds and slabs were also added. Very cool, I know. C tier though, it's meh apart from the beds. 1.1 added spawn eggs and some new biomes. It also added super flat. It also added loads of new languages. Some cool quality of life things, but nothing major. C tier. 1.12 was the World of Color update. You and I both know where this is going. Concrete, glazed terracotta, and colored beds were all added, as well as the recipe book and advancements. Kind of boring as well, but the World of Color thing is kind of cool, so I guess it can go into C tier. It's better than the rest. 1.15 had bees added, which means they're at least C tier. Beehives and honey were added. It's all to do with bees, basically. Because of that, it's C tier. But if you have it lower, I can understand. But I respectfully disagree. 1.17 was Caves and Cliffs Part 1, and it added some new mobs, some new blocks, and all the copper stuff, which I'll be honest, I don't really care about. Deep Slate was also added with all its variants, but we all expected a far bigger update. So C tier, I think. Pre-Classic was the first version of Minecraft. It also had 3 Minecraft names. It had Minecraft, Minecraft Order of the Stone, and Cave Game. It was only grass and cobble, and it was just a brick of land where you could just throw blocks down. There was no real goal, you just kind of built stuff. It has to go into B tier. I think that's fair. Late Classic added mobs. Very cool, but also kind of cursed. See, creepers could punch, and when you kill them, then they blow up. Different mechanics, but they're definitely worse. Worlds also began to take shape. There was more hills and valleys. Mobs also had fake armor. Yeah, the armor didn't actually impact their health points. It just kind of sat there. Very good version, but there's still a long way to go. I think it's B tier. Early Alpha added a lot. New passive mobs like the cow and the chicken were added. Redstone was added, as well as more blocks and cave ambience. Overall, very cool, but not as important as the updates coming. It's B tier. 1.5 introduced the redstone update. Very practical and very cool, if you're a nerd, that is. Hopper and nether quartz were also added, but I don't really care, to be honest. For those of us who don't really understand redstone at all, it was kind of boring. B tier. 1.7 added an awful lot of content, like multiple new biomes, the amplified world type, new advancements, a bunch of colored glass, and new wood types like the acacia wood. It made Minecraft more personalized, allowed more creativity with your builds. It's art, okay? Appreciate it. I need attention. It's B tier. 1.11 was the Woodland Mansion update, adding evokers, vindicators, and totems of undying, which was, to be polite, controversial. It also added shulker boxes, making item transport far less painful than before, as well as observers. Vexes can die in a hole though, so it's losing marks for that. It would have been A tier, but because of the Vexes, I'm gonna knock it down to B tier. 1.19 is an interesting case. Let's take a look. The Deep Dark and Ancient Cities were added with the Warden, and frogs and mangrove swamps were also added. It's extremely cool, don't get me wrong, but does it really affect the game that much? I don't think so. So it's B tier for me, but you could argue higher or lower. What do you think? Comment your opinion and I don't know, I'll reply. InDev is a great example of how it's kind of hard to judge the earlier versions of Minecraft because the additions are so important to the game. Like bees being added doesn't really impact the game that much, unless you're me, but like farming was added in InDev, and that's way more important. As well as that, third person was added, the day and night cycle was added, island maps were added, and cancelled mobs were added. Yes, these guys. This version of Minecraft Minecraft was instrumental to its development, so it's going to be the first one in A tier. Following up, we have InfDev, which stands for Infinite Development, aka the world's generated infinitely now, so you already know it's going to rank high. Better wood items like doors and massive signs. Stairs and saddles were also added, as well as way better cave systems. It's fair that it's going in the same tier as InDev, I think. A tier. 1.4 is a very strong update. We have the Wither skeleton, command blocks, and beacons all added in the same update, as well as enchanted books and firework rockets. Makes Minecraft more like it is today, but we still have so much to cover. This one is an A tier update, definitely. 1.8 was very cool. We had monuments added, as well as rabbits and these three. Okay, maybe this update wasn't so great after all. All the prismarine blocks were added, as well as sea lanterns, the best light source in the game. Prove me wrong. We also got some great utility blocks like slime blocks and barrier blocks, but does it make it into A tier? I think it does. A tier. 1.9 was a massive update and very controversial. The end was completely overhauled, adding end cities, changing the Ender Dragon fight significantly, and adding shulkers. Chorus fruit was also added, as well as mending, which I see as the beginning of modern Minecraft. The elytra was added too, as well as the modern combat mechanics that we all know and, well, okay, love is a strong word, but still, overall, very good, but the combat does take it away from S tier for me. It's gonna go into A tier. 1.13 was a big update. Get excited. Update Aquatic completely changed the ocean forever. Several marine mobs are added, as well as the winner of the first mob vote, the Phantom. By the way, in case you weren't aware, the Phantom's a bad thing. Tridents were also added, which I must say are really badass. It's a great update. A tier. 1.14 was the Village and Pillage update. Yeah, it's back-to-back strong updates. Villages were overhauled, and new trading mechanics and pandas and foxes and pillagers and ravagers and barrels and lanterns and... yeah, it's a big one. A genuine game changer. It's definitely top of A tier. 1.18 introduced higher mountains and changed build limits, which made the game far more open. There was also a caving overhaul, and new music was made by Lena Rain specifically for this update. There was loads of refinements for world generation, and it was extremely useful. It definitely made the game better, but it's a bit boring other than the mountains and the cave overhaul. However, it's still definitely A tier. But now we move on to the fabled S tier. These are my top 4 Minecraft updates ever, in order. Starting with 1.16. There was loads of new nether mobs like the Strider and the Piglin, and netherite was added, replacing diamond armor as the strongest armor obtainable. That's a massive change. Bastions were also added with blackstone and nether gold ore. Basically, the nether was completely changed, and I think that was a really good thing, to be honest. It's S tier. It's an incredible update. In third place, we have Late Alpha, which changed the world. Okay, not the real one, just the Minecraft one. Don't get your hopes up, we're not there yet. In 1.16, the nether was changed, but in Late Alpha, the nether was added for the first time. Biomes were also added, the debug screen was added, sneaking was added. It's a massive deal and very cool. It's definitely S tier. Now we have 2 more versions of Minecraft, and second place is Late Beta. There was a new launcher and title screen. Isn't it beautiful? Achievements added, statistics added, creative mode added, the weather was added, mineshafts were added, so much was added, I can't put it all down here. Massive changes, but they worked perfectly, so it's an incredible update. It has to go into S tier. I actually don't think anything could beat it. Oh wait, what's that? This is 1.0, the update that added so much I can't even scrape the surface, so I'll try my best. It added the end and Ender Dragons, Nether Fortresses, coal biomes, breeding, enchanting, item repair, hardcore. It's incredible. It's the best update ever. S tier. But now that we've seen every version of Minecraft, click this video all about Minecraft's old title screens. Thanks.